Good evening, everyone. How are you? How are you? This is Betty. I am your mind, body, and soul expert. I offer hope in a dark world where people believe they can't be delivered from stress, depression, and anxiety. First of all, I want to welcome you to the Healing House, where there is healing for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I'm going to continue to extend my deepest condolences to Nilda Gonzalez and Edwin Cruz, my brother, on their going home to glory of their family member Wilson, who was a God-fearing man. Just let me put that out there here on the Mind, Body, and Soul group. But my beautiful souls, how are you? How are you? How are you? As you can see here, my title is "Don't Play with Love." Don't play with love. And first, let me introduce myself. My name is Betty Riddick. I am a mind, body, and soul expert. I'm an author. I am an international speaker. I am also a life coach. I offer hope in a dark world where people believe they can't be delivered from stress, depression, and anxiety like I was back in 1994. My beautiful souls, truly, I'm not here to impress you, just simply to impress upon you that you too can be delivered from stress, depression, and anxiety like I was back in 1994. It is truly possible with power thoughts renewing the mind. Now, you know what, you all, I am sad on the loss of Nilda and Edwin's beautiful soul. But however, I'm also sad again. And let me tell you something. My title here is "Don't Play with Love." Don't play with love. And the reason why I say that is because I am 58 years old, right? And I was with my children's father for 17 years. Um, I was with another individual for like 10 years. Then I was in another relationship. I don't know. Then I was in relationships where I wasn't married. But however, for the most part of my life, to be honest with you, I was in relationships for long periods of time, for at the most 5 years and plus. And one thing I can tell you all about me, Betty Riddick, your mind, body, and soul expert, before I start to tell you about "Don't Play with Love." Please don't play with love. Please don't play with love. And the only reason why I decided to share this topic today is because, what other people do in their lives is none of my business. I'm not a nosy person. I could care less about the next person, about what people are doing in their lives. I could truly, really, I don't. I'm not nosy. However, when I hold a conversation with anybody, it's about facts, truth, because I live my own truth, and to thine own self I am true, right? And before I start this topic of "Don't play with love," as you all know, I am big on human behavior, the psychology of life. Human behavior, the psychology of life. And I love criminology. I love watching Dateline, 2020. I love watching documentaries, if you will. I just have that type of mind, human behavior, the psychology of life. Because if you don't have human behavior, the psychology of life, people will treat you any kind of way. And that's why you shouldn't play with love. And one thing that I can tell you is that when I watch these documentaries, Dateline, 2020, I watch Dr. Phil, when I watch these documentaries, and so many times I watch documentaries about crimes of passion, crimes of passion. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, I'm not a nosy body. I'm more of an observant than anything. I observe things. And, you know, one thing that I can tell you is that when I watch these documentaries on 2020 and Dateline and, there's an investigation ID channel. And when I watch these documentaries, and one thing that I can tell you is that people, it's a good thing that people do talk to you. It's a good thing that your neighbor talks to you. It's a good thing that sometimes your coworker talks to you. Even though with me, I'm the type of person, I don't go to work to make friends. They are just strictly my coworkers. But however, sometimes when I watch these documentaries, some people go to work and make friends, and they tell their coworkers about their relationships with their significant other, their relationship with their spouse, just their relationships overall. And one thing that I can tell you is that when I watch these documentaries and these crimes of passion to the point of death, by people talking to their friends, co-workers, or other people within their circle, and they say, if anything happens to me, keep in mind that my boyfriend did it, my girlfriend did it, my wife did it, my husband did it, my significant other did it. And the reason why I say that is because, my beautiful souls, in my neighborhood, I just saw something today that really, really blew my mind. And I know I was in relationships in the past. And remember, I came on and I said, don't lie about being in relationships. Don't lie about being in a relationship, saying we're in love, we're happy, everything is okay. So my neighbor moved out. She moved out. And I used to talk to her. And I would tell her, I said, why don't you just get out? Just get out, leave, because I was speaking on my past life experiences and my past relationships that I had. And, sometimes it takes us a while to get out of some of these relationships, specifically us women, because when we fall in love, we fall in love really, really hard. But please don't play with love, my beautiful souls. And I say that to say this. I remember when I was in a relationship and someone told me, they said, Betty, you and you alone will know when you have had enough. And today, you know, no, last week my neighbor came to me and she says, you know what, Betty, I'm moving out. I've had enough. I can't take this anymore. Enough is enough. But she was being a great pretender. She told me we're happy, we're in love, everything is going to work out. After he left her in that house with his mother, with his sister, while he was living with another woman in another part of Georgia, another city in Georgia. And so, I had stopped speaking to these people because they didn't rake their leaves and they always had their leaves blown over to me. And I babysat their kids while they went to the airport to drop off the rental car. And when I did babysit their kids, I thought, well, great, great, great. I babysat their kids. Maybe they'll go ahead and rake their leaves this fall. But they didn't rake their leaves, and I got mad, and I just said, you know what, I'm sick and tired of the devil thinking that they could take advantage of me. I go through enough as it is, trying to make it through life, right? One day at a time, sweet Jesus, one day at a time, sweet Jesus. So I had stopped speaking to her, because I was like, you know what, I'm over this. You all won't rake your leaves. They keep blowing over to me, and I'm raking them. And I decided to stop speaking because you know what? You don't have to entertain the devil by any means necessary. You do not have to entertain the devil. You really, truly don't, my beautiful souls. But however, I didn't speak to her for a while. And then the other, what was it, the Friday before Mother's Day. The Friday before Mother's Day. And I tell you all, I'm not being nosy. This happens right in front of me because this is my neighbor right across the road from me. I'm sitting right here looking at the house right now. I'm sitting here looking at the house right now. So anyway, I came onto my porch the Friday. Yes, it had to be the Friday of Mother's Day. It was the Friday of Mother's Day. And she said, and as she used to do when we did speak, after I got sick of their foolishness, nothingness, messiness, just demonic spirits. And I came out onto my porch, and as she would usually do, because it was reciprocal that we didn't speak to each other. It was reciprocal because when I get sick and tired of the devil thinking they can take advantage of me, I cut you off and I'm finished and I'm done. Because if I have to fuss and fight and argue with you, there's no dealings because you're not going to worry me at all because I don't have no worries. I don't have no worries. I don't have no worries at all. Praise God. Hallelujah. So anyway, like I was saying, when I went to sit down on my porch, she shouted across the road, "Hi, Miss Betty, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh, wow. I haven't spoke to her for a while." And she's saying, "Hi, Miss Betty, how are you?" And she proceeded to tell me, "I'm moving out tomorrow." She says, "I'm moving out tomorrow. I can't deal with this anymore." And my beautiful souls, I used to talk to this lady because she is younger than I, obviously. She's younger than I. I would say that she has to be about probably 10 years younger than I. And I try to help people wherever I can. wherever I can. But then there's those times when people that, they listen to me. They listen to me. But at the end of the day, what's the saying? You can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. And so as she proceeded, to talk to me about she has had enough, she's moving out. And mind you, she did move out. She had the after losing a good paying job, after losing a high end paying job, and after 3 kids later, 3 little ones later, because it was like she was running a daycare over there with 3 little ones, and plus bringing his other child in sometimes to the house, 4 little toddlers over there. And so she says, I'm leaving. I've had enough. I'm moving with my mom and my sister. And then that way I'll have a good support system. And I said to her, you know what? I am so glad. I said to her, I am so glad that you have finally decided to move out. And I said to her, I said, guess what? Your journey is over. My beautiful souls, the reason why I say this, don't play with love. Please don't play with love. I said to her, I said, guess what? Your journey is over. Your journey is over. And, you know, I was just trying to help her because I know what I went through in the past. I've done what she did in the past. That's why I couldn't judge it. My beautiful souls, don't play with love. I couldn't judge what she was going through. But I did realize that, like somebody else told me when I was in a relationship for a long time, Betty, only you and you alone will realize when you have had enough. And she had finally had enough. She had finally had enough. And, she said to me, we're in love. We're going to work it out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So to make a long story short, my beautiful souls, about don't play with love. If you don't love that person you're with, leave. Seriously, leave. If you don't love that female, if you don't love that male, if you don't love them, don't play with them. Because let me tell you what happened today as I was sitting on my porch. Let me tell you what happened. This lady has been out of this house the Mother's Day weekend. What was that? May 10th? What's today? Today is May 17th. Sunday, May 17th. I was coming out of my house to try to grill, which hasn't been successful all day. I'm trying to grill me a turkey burger, some salmon and wings. I'm going to stick to the stove. However, I went out to start up the grill, and Lord and behold, there was another lady in the driveway with a Lexus. There was another lady in that driveway already, and this lady has not even been gone a week. And she said to me, she said, you know what, Miss Betty? For 5 years, I have been putting up with this stuff in this house with this man. And now I'm leaving. And then today, I just happened to come out my door, and I saw a white Lexus with a woman in it. And then he came out in his business truck to go to work. The lady she's only been gone a week, and he has another, because that's his house. This is the third woman that I have seen come over there in his house. You all, please don't play with love. Don't play with love, because it could be just like I see on Dateline in 2020. It can be a crime of passion where you kill someone. I know even me, even though I thank you, Lord God, that I don't have any violent tendencies, but one thing that I can tell you is that when I wasn't thinking clearly, and I was in a relationship where the individual made me so frustrated that I really literally wanted to just take him out. But then I was like, thank you, Lord, I don't have any violent tendencies. So I just simply said, would you please move on before something goes wrong here? And I'm so glad that she moved on. She moved on, my beautiful souls. Don't play with love. Don't sit there and pretend that your relationship is all hunky-dory. This lady kept feeding me a bunch of lies about their relationship when I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right because this is right across from me. Hear him coming home at 9:30, 10:30 at night. She's home all day long with the 3 little kids. 3 little kids all day long. You're at home with 3 little kids all day long. And these kids are this man's. And he comes home at 9:30 at night, not helping you raise the kids, not helping you deal with the kids. And you're talking about how much you love him. You love him so much to the end, to the point where you lost a good paying job. You lost a high end car. You just lost it all. Just to walk away with 3 kids. And he's not gonna be in the picture. You're in another, You're still in the state of Georgia. And then she had a nerve to tell me, my beautiful souls, and I'm not gossiping, I'm just telling you the truth here. She said to me, she said, Miss Betty, I'm moving out tomorrow. She said, but I may have to leave some of my stuff behind. And I said to her, why are you going to leave your stuff behind, some stuff behind? This is the end of your journey. Take all of your stuff and go on. There should be no reason for you to come back. I said, your journey is over. Your journey is over. She played with that love long enough. She pretended that they were happy. And she would talk to me and tell me how much she loved him and how much they were getting it all together after he left her. And this is his house. He left her in his house while he was with another woman and left her in his house with his mother and his sister. And they didn't even like her. They didn't even like her. He was playing her in the other woman across town. Across town. Don't play with love, my beautiful souls. And you know what? I really feel sad for her. But at the same token, I'm so glad she's gone. When I saw that white Lexus in that driveway when I came out of the door, because I'm telling you, I'm not being nosy, because I could care less. I could care less. Truly, I could care less. It's enough dealing with me. But however, don't play with love. Don't play with love. And this is why things happens in neighborhoods. This is why when people say if anything happened to me, it was him, her. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship, don't play with love. She kept pretending that the relationship was okay. She kept pretending that they were in love. She kept pretending that everything was going to be all right. Let me tell you all something, because I have experienced it. I'm not judging. I have experienced it. I have. Where I thought, let me tell you something, my beautiful souls. Let me tell you something, ladies, ladies, ladies. And this can happen to men too. When a man leaves you once for another woman, trust and believe. Once he leaves you for another woman, it doesn't stop. It's a vicious cycle. And you all know what the saddest part about this story is concerning this man across the road? I don't know how he got, because when I saw this lady in a Lexus, you know why he's dating these type of women in a Lexus and Fendi? Because he's not telling the truth. This man has 7 children. You understand me? This man has 7 children. How do I know? She told me so. And 3 of them are hers. This man has 7 children. This man has 7 children. I bet you he didn't tell that lady that. I bet you what he told her is, I have a house. And don't be lying. Don't play with love. You can get hurt playing with love. Crime of passions can happen with playing with love. I remember even telling in my own family, I told my grandson, don't be playing with your girlfriend. Don't play with her. She's a beautiful child. She's a beautiful girl. She can go out there and get anybody she wants. Don't play with women. Don't play with women. They are the weaker vessel. Don't play with love, my beautiful souls. I just was so hurt today. The lady only left last Saturday, you all. This is the 3rd woman this man has had in this house. It's not my business. I can look right across here and see the house. I'm not lying. But you know what, you all? I'm glad for her journey coming to an end. Don't play with love, because somebody can get hurt. Somebody can really, really get hurt. Don't play with love, okay? I just wanted to share that story with you all. And that's why I'm so single. You know what? I'm so single because I love to do what I do for you all, because don't you know that playing with love can truly inflict stress, depression, and anxiety upon you? It can make you snap. Remember that show, Snap? I used to watch that show as well. You can play with love so much till the person just snaps and just take you out, whether it be male or female. Don't play with love. Please don't play with love. You all, please don't play with love, because as I witnessed this car pull up in that driveway today, I was like, this lady was only gone a week today. No, yesterday, Saturday. She was only gone a week. And this man with his lying self, because how can you attract these women with these high-end cars, a Lexus? You're lying to them. You sure ain't telling them about the 7 kids you got. What's that song? I think it was Lauryn Hill. All up in the club. Not paying your child support. Not telling the truth. Or what is that? Living my best life. That song with Snoop Dogg in it. I'm living my best life. You ain't got a job, but you up in the club, ain't paying your child support. Ladies, be careful about these men whispering nothing in your ears. Because I could imagine the sweet nothing this man whispered in this lady's ear. She's driving a Lexus. It's none of my business. The other lady was driving an Infiniti. He's messing with women that are very intelligent, have high-end cars, and some ladies, you know what? That's why you need to stop flashing. Stop flashing thinking that a car can make you happy. I'm just keeping it 100. Don't play with love. Be careful about these men coming at you. Because I can guarantee you, not once did this man tell this lady he has 7 children. I know daggone well I don't want to date no man with 7 children, especially four toddlers. Especially 4 toddlers. I'm just keeping it 100, my beautiful souls. Don't play with love. You can get hurt. Don't play with love. I know where I used to be. Don't play with love. It can cost you. But I'm so glad that she moved out. I'm so glad that she moved out. And like I said, I can care less what's going on in other people's lives. But when it's adjacent to you across the road, and when she told me all about what was going, she told me everything, you all. She told me everything, and I truly, truly was trying to help her. I was trying to help her when he left her for another woman and across town, and she was stuck in his house with his mother and his sister, people that didn't even like her. And then when it was all said and done, she stuck with 3 infants, 3 toddlers, pardon me. She stuck with 3 toddlers to move out and go live with her mother and sister. 3 kids later, losing a job later, losing a high-end car later. Ladies, don't lose your self-esteem and your value and your worth over a man. Don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. When I saw that car today, I'm like, oh my God, this lady hasn't even been out of this house a good week. And he has another lady up in there. But that's his house. He can do what he want to do. I'm just glad she's gone, you all. I just want to share that with you very, very quickly. I'm going to get on trying to get this. My food still ain't cooking. Guess what? I'm not grilling no more. I'm going to stick to the stove. Because my food ain't grilling yet. It started raining. But I want you all to know that I love you. I want to thank you for supporting me here in the Mind, Body, and Soul group. You know, you all don't play with love. It can be deadly. It truly can. And I'm so grateful that this lady left. And I told her, your journey is over. Your journey is over. And let me tell you one thing, ladies. You know what? One thing I realized after my last relationship, I said to myself, you know what, Betty? You have to hurt before you heal. You have to hurt before you heal. And now that I am healed from relationships, I choose, okay? I choose to be single, to be a mind, body, and soul expert, and to help you all with my life lessons and life experiences at the age of 58 years old. I want to help you. It's not about me. I want to help you all. I love you. My daughter is calling. Enjoy what's left of your blessed and stress-free Sunday. I love you.